Hello and welcome back to the Coder's Legacy channel. In today's video, we'll be exploring how to set up an FTP server on Windows 10. Now, some things I want to say before we begin. In this video, we won't just be making the client and the server on the same device and communicating on the local host. We're actually going to go a step further and set up our FTP server on a virtual machine. That's why we have the Azure portal open in front of us, because that's where I've created our Windows virtual machine, and we'll be setting up the FTP server in that virtual machine and setting up the client on our local on my device, which I'm recording this on right now. So that's how this is going to go, and we're basically going to discuss all the complexities like the firewall and the ports and stuff. I'm doing this, it is more work, but I'm doing this because it's more realistic this way, because you won't be setting up the client and the server on the same device, right? It's most likely you going to be accessing a machine, a virtual machine or something across the internet. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. Now, let's begin. So first off, we need to RDP into our machine, alright, using our credentials. So you'll already have set up an account here. You'll have a username, which you should be able to see down here, just in case you forget, by the way, if you're using Azure. So anyways, you can see the username over there. So just log in. Alrighty, we're in. So the first thing we'll do is open up Microsoft Edge or whatever browser that you have. Can't be bothered to install Chrome over here. So just type FileZilla server, and alright, let's put that. So just go over here, and this is what we want. I'll leave all the relevant links in the description below, so don't worry. Just download the server and click yes over here. There we go. Just to run this file and continue, and okay, continue, okay, and here you'll enter a password. Alright, so continue again and again. There we go. So now our thing is set up, and it's just gonna open up the admin UI in front of us right here. So this is gonna be where your password is, the password that you just entered. So just, let's just retype that just to be sure. There. And you can do save password. You can also do this so that whenever your virtual machine starts up, then this admin UI will open up in front of you. First things first, go into configure over here. Okay, so here go into protocol settings, and this is where you can set some cool things like whether you want to ban them for some time after say 5 failed attempts, or you want to be stricter and go with 3. You can also like set the ban time over here, like an hour, for example, and things like that. But what we're really concerned with right now is the groups and users. So go into groups, and we'll create our first group here, and I'll explain more of this in a minute. So the first thing we need to do, actually something we've forgotten to do, is that when you're creating an FTP server, you need to have something in mind, right? Like a folder or something that you want to share. So what we're gonna do first is go over to our C drive, or any place really, doesn't really matter. You need to go and create a folder, and we'll call this the data folder. And in here is going to be all the data that we want our clients to be able to access. So take the path to this folder. That's just C. Okay, so we'll go over here, add, and we're gonna write this in the native path, the path to our folder. This is the native path is basically the real location of the folder that you want to share on your FTP server. The virtual path is basically what the user is going to see, what the client is going to see. So you can call this, for example, something else. a shared folder, for example, this is the folder that the client is going to see when he accesses the server. It's not a folder that actually exists. It just kind of maps onto this data folder right here. Okay, so that's how this works. Click apply. Now go to users, and we'll create our first user, admin. Now we can choose what authentication to keep over here. So let's just keep the default. He'll need a password. And here we don't have to actually define a path for this user. We don't have to define the path all over again to that data folder. We can just assign him to a group. Okay, and that's it. Click apply. We need to actually give him a password. Sorry. So let's just do that. Okay, and now we'll click apply. There we go. So as I was saying, we don't have to define the path over here again, because since he's a part of this group, he already has access to it. But if we want to define some user specific paths, we can do it right here. Okay, so let's continue. Now what we're going to do is just close this virtual machine for a bit and come back over here. We need to set our network settings. Okay, because right now we need to open up quite a few things. And also one more thing that we need to do, we need to open this again, sorry. So we need to open the firewall first, and we need to disable firewall. Anything that we do, we're going to be doing it, like the network settings and everything, we're going to be doing them properly in Azure, from the Azure portal. Or if you're using like Oracle or AWS or whatever you're using, you can follow along with me in this, in what I'm about to do. Sorry, wrong one. Right, this one. Okay, so you need to just get to this UI and just turn off this firewall. Okay, and there we go. So close this now, and let's go over here to our network settings. Now, if you want to be really dumb, you can just like open up all the ports on ingoing and outgoing, but that's not so good. And yeah, so we're gonna like do this properly. There are quite a few ports we need to open up. I've actually noted them down here, and I'll leave this in the description as well. So we need to add 3 incoming rules and 2 outgoing rules. So let's do that. The first one is going to be an incoming rule to port 990. Okay, this is the secure port. Basically, there's the port 21, you may have heard of that, and then there's a port 990, which is the secure FTP port, FTP over TLS. So that's a port that we're using. We are using the secure version. Okay, this is an incoming rule, right? So yeah, the destination port is going to be 990. Cool. So if you want to be more specific, you can like put the source, you can put your own IP address in here if you want to, if you want to be really secure about this. So yeah, add this rule. Next, we're going to create a rule for port 21. Then we're going to create a rule for the ports 50,000 to 51,000 that we're using, that we're giving access to our FTP server to for, FTP stuff. Now we need to open up, sorry, we're done with the incoming, we need to do the outgoing ones now. So over here in the destination, we're going to do all at this time, and in the source, because now we are the source, the virtual machine is the source in the outgoing rule, we're going to do these ports. The 50,000 to 51,000 range ports need to have incoming and outgoing access. And we just have one more to do, which is the 21 port, and an asterisk over here, and we'll call this port 21. Cool. Okay, so that's our rules set up over here. Now what we're going to do is go over here to FileZilla and download the client version. Actually, I already kind of have it downloaded, so I'm just going to run the setup. So continue, just do the defaults here, there's nothing fancy. Oh wait, there is something important here. Make sure to decline that. Okay, don't press it. Don't be in a hurry and try to like accept everything. Okay, so go for all users, You can create a desktop icon if you want to, may as well. So yeah, let it default location, and there. Alright, so start the FileZilla client right now. And what we're gonna want to do here, this does look a bit complicated. Like what you see over here is basically what you see here. All this is like this directory over here, my users directory. Okay, so what you want to do is go over here. Okay, site manager, and this is where we can add a new FTP. Okay, so I've already added this before. Let's just delete that though. Okay, so let's add a new one. Now, what you need to do, well, you don't really need to do anything. You just need the IP, and that's pretty much it. So copy that, paste it in here, and the port will get decided automatically. No need to do that. So you need to add in your, username here, which you can, by the way, double check. In Azure, it shows up. I already showed you this. It shows up in the reset password. Right. So the password, it's gonna ask you for a password. So click connect, and here's the password. So enter the password that we typed into our FTP server. Okay. Okay, so password is incorrect. Okay, so I made a mistake. We entered the wrong, user. The user that we created is actually called admin, not Windows admin. The Windows admin is the username to the virtual machine. So let's try that again. Alright, connection established. Retrieving directory. There we go. Perfect. First try. So if we open this folder up, we can see absolutely nothing because there isn't anything in there. So let's go here. And, sorry, it's in C drive. So let's go here and put something. And this can just be an let's just put something in here. Hello. Okay, so let's close this and let's go here. Hopefully it refreshes. At least I hope so. No? How do you refresh? Okay. There we go. Perfect. So here you can download this. If you download it, it's going to appear in the directory that you have over here, by the way. Okay. You can change this if you want to, but if you download it, it's going to appear over here. You can also drag this into this place over here if you want to. Let me just show you. Just drop it in there. And it's going to show up here somewhere. File transfer. Cool. So there it is. See? And let's just open it up for good measure. And we'll confirm that our video is complete. And I've shown you... Oh, are you trying to like... Don't, I'm not asking you to like do that. Just open it. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned if you have any more questions, any more things that you want to see, do let me know in the comments below. See you later.